Hi guys, my name is Stephanie. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back to my channel, and if you're new here, you're most welcome. Please consider subscribing to join this family. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you guys how to make this wrap top for the short puff sleeve version of it, and this is actually the fabric I'm making use of, and I also have other materials here, so please keep watching. So I'm gonna head to fold the fabric into two, and then I'm marking her shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 7.5 inches, and then I'm marking her neck width of 3 inches, and then the neck depth of 1.5 inches. That's for the back piece. So I'll be cutting the back piece before the front piece, so I'll go ahead and carve the neckline there, and then move down from the shoulder line by 1 inch for shoulder slope, and then I'll go ahead and connect it with my ruler from where I marked to where the neckline stops. So from that shoulder slope, I'll be going down by 7.5 inches, which is her armhole measurement, and then I will go ahead and connect it with a ruler all the way from the upper part to where the armhole is actually going to stop. And next is to be dividing her armhole measurement by 2, and then I'll mark the midpoint over there, and then go in by about 1/2 inch. And then the next measurement I'll be taking is the length of her top, and the length I'm working with is 20 inches. You actually want the top to be at 20 inches, but because of folding allowance and sewing allowance, I'll add extra 1 inch, which is like 21 inches for the down part. And next is to insert the bust measurement, and her bust measurement divided by 4 is about 9 inches, so I will go ahead and add extra 1 inch for sewing allowance. And her waist divided by 4 is 7.5 inches, so I'll go ahead and mark the 7.5 inches over there, and then I'll add extra 1 inch for sewing allowance as well. And then I'll go ahead and connect all the points together, just the same way you see in this video. And the next thing is that I'll go ahead and curve her armhole following the measurement that I marked earlier. I'll go in by 1/2 inch from the midpoint, and then go all the way to the upper side. And then the next thing to do is to be cutting out everything now following the measurements. So for the front piece, I'm gonna head to fold the fabric into 2, and then I'm placing the back piece on it. The side is actually going to be the same, it's just the front part of it that will be different, so I will neatly arrange everything to stay in place. So for this front extension, I'm actually making use of a bust divided by 4. You can actually make use of waist divided by 4 since I'm actually deducting from the bust measurement, but I'm making use of a bust divided by 4, which is like 9 inches. I'm minusing inches from it. I'm making use of 7 inches in this case, so I'll go ahead and mark it over there. I'm connecting this line for the down part to know exactly where the measurement is actually going to stop. And then from there, I'm going off for about 3 inches, which is actually going to be the part where the ropes are going to be connecting. So for the upper part, I'm moving down by 6 inches for the front neck depth. I'm moving down by 6 inches, and then I'm just drawing this line to know where the extension is actually going to start from. And then for the front neck width, is actually going to be the same thing with the back neck width. It's just the front neck depth that is about 6 inches where the wrap is actually going to be starting from. So I'm marking it to the 6 inches, and then I'll be connecting all the way down to the 3 inches that I marked for the down part. You can actually go in with a freehand curve, or you can still go in with a straight ruler, whichever one that you prefer to use. So I'm just connecting it with a ruler from there, and then I'm just trying to make the lines to be bored so that you guys will see what I've just done here. And then the next thing is to be cutting out the down part, which is actually going to be the same, and then the shoulder line, and then the armhole, and then the side. And then for the front, it's actually going to be different, so I'm just following the marked lines, just the same way you see in this video. So guys, you see how everything is wrapping, and then from there it's actually going to be where the rope is fully extending. from this other side. So the next thing is to be sewing the shoulder lines by 1/2 inch. I'm done sewing about 1/2 inch, as you can see. So the next thing I'll actually be doing is that I'm going to be folding this in, starting from that 3 inches that I marked from down. I'll actually leave the 3 inches and then fold in 2 times. I'll actually make it to be tiny and sew it around. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. As you can see in this video, I'm done. And then the next thing is that I'll be joining the sides with the 1 inch that I left for sewing allowance. I will not be holding the extension, okay? So guys, I'm actually done sewing the sides, and I've also gone ahead to cut the sleeve with the remaining fabric. So I'm making a small puffy sleeve, and then I'll be fixing an elastic band with my safety pin from the downside. So guys, I'm actually done sewing the sleeve. So the next thing is to attach it on the top. So I'm actually done attaching it, as you can see, for the both sleeves. So the next thing is to be folding the down part of this top. So I'll go ahead and fold it into 2 and then take it and sew it around on my sewing machine. And I've also made long ropes that will actually go round her waist by 2, and then I've fixed them as well. It's actually folded into 2, and then I connected it from that point that I left for the ropes. And then from this side, I actually went ahead to open one side where the rope is actually going to go through, because one is going inward and one is going outward. So this is actually the end result of the top. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.